All right, we're recording now, so we're not going to talk about your smelly feet anymore.
They don't smell. You can smell them if you want.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Okay, so we're doing day 5. We are going to talk about solving trig functions. We've done some simplifying, we did some verifying, we did some proving, and now we're going to do some solving. So what this says, it says if the other side of the equation is a value from the unit circle, so all the things from the unit circle, 1/2, square root of 3 over 2, 0, 1, in any positive or negative form, and then this last portion right here, ooh, let's use the pointer thing. This right here, nope, not that one, but these ones, those are created by doing your fractions. So square root of 3 over 2 over 1/2 or the other way around. So these are all things that can be found on the unit circle. So if your equation is set equal to one of these, we actually have to think about what is that equal on the unit circle. So here's our example. We have secant is negative 2 square root of 3 over 3. So first thing I need to know is this negative square root of 2 square root of 3 over 3, is that one of those numbers? It is. It's right here. Okay, so that's the negative one, but I don't want to deal with secant. So what's the reciprocal of that?
Cosine.
Cosine. So cosine, and if I do 1 over cosine, what do I do to that fraction? I flip that over. So I'm going to rewrite this. Let's zoom in a little bit. I'm going to rewrite this as cosine of theta is equal to 3 over 2 root 3. So, with that in mind, can I leave it like this?
No.
No. You're not in this class, Noah. So let's change this around. Let's multiply by the square root of 3 on top and bottom. And what does that give me? Okay, 3 square root of 3, so negative 3 square root of 3 over 6. And can I reduce that at all? Okay. Okay, beautiful. Now, negative square root of 3 over 2. Is this one you are really familiar with? Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to find on the unit circle where we have cosine equal to the negative square root of 3 over 2. And cosine is the x or the y value. That's the x. So we're going to look on my unit circle and I'm going to find where x is the square root of 3 over 2. And where's cosine negative? Second and third. So we're going to look in second and third quadrants for this angle. So this angle occurs in the second quadrant here at 5 pi over 6. And in the third quadrant here at 7 pi over 6. So that's where these answers come from. And that's all we're doing with this. Okay? So we're going to apply the unit circle and what we know to these answers. So let's start off really simple, okay? We're going to start off with sine is negative square root of 3 over 2. So no manipulating. I just want to, first of all, where's sine negative? Sine is your which value?
So the bottom 2.
Bottom 2, which is your third and fourth. So we know we're looking in third and fourth quadrant. And I need to know where does sine equal the square root of 3 over 2. And this is the y value. So where does that happen? Look at your unit circle.
Well, she's writing it down and looking at the 4 pi over 3.
Yep. And then I think you said 5 pi over 3 as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So that's my answer right there.
This is it?
That's it.
Is it going to get harder?
We get into some decimals, but that's actually pretty easy too. Decimals.
What happened to fractions? Just understanding them.
All right, let's go to this. So, it should look familiar. What is this one? Secant. And isn't that the same work we just did? Okay, so this right here, just to make a note for those who are not here as well, this right here is the same work from above, so we don't have to go through all of that again. Same work as above. So this is cosine of theta is equal to the square root of 3 over 2. The difference is cosine is positive this time. So where is cosine positive? Which quadrants? 1 and 4. Good. So we're looking in quadrants 1 and 4. We're looking for the square root of 3 over 2, and we're looking for the x value.
You're writing really fast.
Slow your roll.
Wait, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
He keeps on saying the
That's where
Okay.
all is everything. Students is sign. Take is just
I
tangent.
get what that is, but what the heck does that mean?
That's what it's called.
That's where things are positive.
Quadrant one is all.
Positive, negative, all that stuff.
What did
So
we
it
do
goes like
last
1,
year?
2, 3, 4.
It just all went away.
Ah, yes, I saw that. That was not good. Oh, I don't want to make that go away either. I don't have an eraser on here, so, oh well. Oh wait, this is an eraser.
Oh, we had a really good one too last year.
Yes, and it's not appropriate, so let's not go
What
there.
was it?
Ah, I forgot.
Okay, so where do I get this? I have 1 and 4. Cosine is the square root of 3 over 2, which is the x values. That is, I heard somebody say, pi over 6. And thank you very much. So that is my answer. Okay, so there's the first two, A and B. Are there any questions with A and B?
Can I just say that easy?
Well, the next one's going to get a little more difficult only because we need to figure out which coordinate we're looking for because I'm dealing with a cotangent. So this time cotangent is the square root of 3 over 2. I mean, it's just the square root of 3. It's just the square root of 3. I was just adding a 2 for I don't know what reason. It's Friday.
Just for fun.
Yeah. So we need to figure out what set of numbers in which order. So we know that it's going to be a combination of these two right here. But how can I do these together, meaning one divided by the other, to end up with just the square root of 3?
3 over 2 times.
Times 2 over 1?
Yeah.
Okay. So that means if I'm going to do the square root of 3 over 2 times 2 over 1, that means I flipped this one, right? Which means that would be my denominator. Okay? And cotangent, what's in the denominator? The x or the y?
Why?
Y. So the y has to be 1/2, and the x has to be this. So my coordinate I'm going to deal with is this one right here. So I need to know where that coordinate is, and I need to know where is cotangent positive. Quadrant 1, everything's in quadrant 1,
The
positive.
one with both negatives.
And third quadrant. So I want to look for the coordinate that is squared. The fourth quadrant cotangent is negative,
Okay, wait, so yeah, that.
Oh, because
little-
calculus starts with a C.
that little-
but that's cosine. Yep. So we're looking in quadrants 1 and 3 for this coordinate. So obviously in 3 it's going to look a little different because we're going to have both negative. Because 2 negatives divided gives you a positive. So what are we finding for answers for that, or angles?
7 pi over 6.
Pi over 6 and 7 pi over 6. Very good. All right, one more on this page. And this one is 0.
Oh, you're so fast.
Yeah, I did.
Well,
Well, I got it. Keith.
Maybe
Okay.
you guys are just slow.
so what do you need there, hon?
I got it.
Okay. Tangent of 0.
I have one hand on variables though, so y over.
So what do we know about tangent equaling 0? Where does 0 have to be? On top. Which means tangent is y over x, so that means my 0 has to be the y. So I want to know, where is 0y? Ooh, I'm glad you said that because here's the difference that we have to do. We said, so you said 0, you said pi, and you said 2 pi, right? So if I look at this, and I didn't pull attention to this, and I probably should have at the beginning, sorry about that, is this right here. That is 0 is less than or equal to theta, which is less than 2 pi. So we're only, because there's numbers that you can go around and around, we're going to talk about going around once, and we're not going to include the 2 pi. So we're going to go up to 2 pi, but not including, but we will include the 0. So in this problem, we're going to include the 2 first ones, but this one we're not going to include because that's what our boundary tells us.
How did she get that? Never mind.
Wait, no, how did she get that?
Because that's where y is.
Okay, so this next page, this next portion of what we're doing is going to involve your calculator, and it's because now we're dealing with numbers that are not on the unit circle. Okay, so it says if the other side of the equation is not a value on the unit circle, then we need to use a calculator to find the angle. So one of the things you need to do first is make sure your calculator is in radian mode. So go to your mode setting and make sure it says radians, not degrees. Just make sure the radian portion is highlighted. Okay, so this is the example we're going to start with. So the first example says secant is equal to 1.6. So we're going to use a calculator because 1.6 is not one of our nice numbers on a unit circle. So in the calculator, I'm looking for an angle. And if you recall back from when you first started doing this, I think it was geometry. If you're looking for an angle, we have to use the inverse button, which is this one right here where we have that -1 up there. So we need to be using that button. Now there's no secant button though, right? So now you need to use some more knowledge that you have, and that's the fact that secant is 1 over cosine. So this is how you're going to plug this in. Okay, so I want to make sure everyone gets the right answer. So on your calculator, I want you to do second cosine of 1 divided by 1.6. So when you do this on your calculator, you're going to find the correct trig function. And again, being in radian mode, you should end up with 0.9. So is there anybody that is doing it and is not ending up with 0.9?
Not exactly.
It's not exactly is because you have to round, right?
Wait, how do you
Yep, so let's do to 0.9. So 0.89555664. So did you put it in radian mode?
Yeah, I
And
got the 0.89.
okay, yes. So we're going to round to 9.
Okay.
Okay? So it says to round to the nearest hundredth, and the nearest hundredth would round that up to 0.9. So are we all set?
Yes.
Do I need to pause for a question?
Wait, I'm still.
Is this. I like to see things visually, so what I do and what I'm going to suggest you do when you're doing the bottom part is to just do a little quick sketch of a quadrant, the 4 quadrants, so I'm going to do this. And I want to know, we're looking at secant, which is positive. So where is cosine positive? 4 is one of them, yep. So here and where else? And 1. So these are the 2 quadrants that I'm looking at. And that means I'm going to have an angle here and I'm going to have an angle here. Okay, without doing anything else, I know that that's going to show up. Now, what we found out is that this angle, it measures 0.9. So this angle right here is 0.9 of a radian. Now, here's the problem. Here's the part that normally people get messed up with. That 0.9 is the distance from my x-axis. It's from here to here. But that same distance would be down here. I would be at 0.9 in this direction as well. But when I do my answers, I have to have from 0 to 2 pi. So my answers are going to be this one right here because that one's already positive. But I also have to take the positive version of this. So how do you think I could get that positive version? How many radians is it all the way around? Radians? It's 2 pi. So 2 pi all the way around. But I want 0.9 less than that. So what we're going to do is we're going to say 2 pi minus the 0.9. And we're going to use our calculators again. And we are going to get 5.38-ish. 8-ish. And so both of the answers are already written down there for you, but I want to make sure you knew where these came from. So this one is already positive, so 0.9 is my answer here. And then 5.38 comes from the positive version of that. All right, now we're going to try 2 more examples. So now we are going to talk about tangent. So the first thing in the hint I gave here, it says draw a diagram, find the 2 quadrants before you do anything else. So what we're going to do is that. I'm going to draw my quadrants. I don't want to do that in red. So the 2 quadrants, and this is tangent is negative. So where is tangent negative? Say it again. Yep, so then 2 and 4. Yep. So then 2 and 4 are where we're looking at for angles. So now I want to find out what tangent of theta is equal to negative 1.3. I want to know what that is. So this is when you take your calculator and you plug it in. So in the calculator, we do have a tangent button. So I'm going to plug in this just like that. Positive or negative? Negative. Okay. And that's okay because this already says in this quadrant, right? Okay, hold on a second. So I knew that this was going to be in both those quadrants, and then you just said it was a negative 0.92. Thank you. So I know that this angle right here is negative 0.92. So again, we're coming from the x-axis, and this one's going down. So I know that this up here is not my 0.92. So where else would 0.92 be?
At the 90 degrees.
Oh,
90.
Right here?
yeah.
No.
Wait.
No.
Yes.
Well, yes, the whole.
Yes, because I know that I'm going to be in this quadrant and this quadrant. If I did 0.92 over here, I don't want an answer in that quadrant, right? So I need to do the same reference angle as this, which is that 0.92. So I'm going to do 0.92 up here as well. So both of these, we're going to have to do a little bit of moving around some, because I need to know this angle, because that's the one we want. We don't want just the reference. And I also have to know this angle.
Wouldn't they be the same?
Okay, so if I need to get the first one, the one I did in red, what do you think I'm going to do with that? What is the 0.92 less than? From pi, because it's very close to pi. So if I take pi and I subtract that from 0.92, that's going to give me everything up there except for that 0.92. So on your calculator, do your subtraction.
Oh, well, I got 4. Oh, wait, I did minus.
2.22.
Yeah, I got 2.22 as well. So that's one of our answers.
What?
Oh, I put in the wrong.
And how do I find the blue angle? 2 pi, yep. So 2 pi minus 0.92. 5.36 is what I got as well.
Wait, which one's the?
I kept putting in a negative, so I was adding, and then I put in 92 instead of 0.9.
The struggle.
9.2.
It's just a struggle.
Just dividing.
Yes.
Is the 92 in red supposed to be negative?
Nope, it's 0.92. It's just, this one doesn't have to be negative here, but that's the original. And the negative tells us we are going from this direction, so I just left it with it. Okay, other questions with this one? All right, B, one more. So cosecant. We don't have cosecant on the calculator, so what are we going to use? We're going to use sine, good. And before we do that, let's find out where sine is positive.
It's positive in 1 and 2.
Okay, so positive here and here. So we know I'm going to have an angle in both of these, wow, I just completely missed. Both of these directions. Okay? So now in order to plug this into the calculator, you said it's the inverse, we're going to deal with sine. So I'm going to do sine negative 1, 1 divided by, because we have the inverse. So we're going to do 1 divided by the 2.4, and we're going to get an answer.
0.43.
Okay, so 0.43. And 0.43 is in that first quadrant. Wow. So this is my first quadrant right there. So I have 0.43. Is that one of our angles? Do I need to manipulate that one at all?
Yeah. No, you don't.
I wanted one in that quadrant, right?
Yeah.
And 0.43 falls in the right range, and this is an angle, so we're okay with that one. But I also need the 0.43 reference right there, which means I need this angle. So how did we do that again? Pi minus the 0.43. I didn't get 2.4.
Well, no.
I got 2 points.
Oh, you're going from the, okay, I thought you were going between these two.
Nope, I'm going from here and then back.
0, okay.
And then, so pi minus 0.43.
2.7.
I got 7.1, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be my two angles that I'm looking for. Now, there are sometimes, and let me see if it's on this homework.
I don't like that those are decimals.
Okay, so on the homework, there is something I wanted to mention to you, and I'll give you the homework after your quiz, is that one of the problems says plus or minus. So this might say plus or minus 2.4. What do you think that changes? It changes location. Well, it doesn't change location. It actually adds. When I say plus or minus, and I did put the hint on there, that just means all the quadrants. that means I'm not taking any of the quadrants away. You'll actually have 4 answers for those. And there's only 2 of them.
Like 3 pi minus, is that what we?
No, you would do, okay, so you do, this one is fine. You would do pi minus the 0.43. Then we do pi plus the 0.43. And then we would do the 2 pi minus the 0.43. So you basically have one of those reference angles in all quadrants. Okay, and there's only 2 of those in the homework, and I left them as ones that were actually reference angle ones that you're used to.